Hi, my name is Sean Pentecost.
Chris Truman.
Uh,
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Chris. So I'm a mental health and addictions worker student at Fleming College. Today I'm going to be role playing as a case manager for you. Can I ask you what your pronouns are?
I prefer not to say.
You prefer not to say? Okay, that's fair. I go by he, him, if that's all right.
Okay.
Before we start, I'd like to discuss confidentiality with you. So, confidentiality basically means that anything that you share with me today is private and will stay in this room.
Okay.
The only exceptions to that are if you were to tell me that you were at risk to yourself or at risk of harming yourself or somebody else. If the court subpoenaed our counseling sessions or any of our meetings. If you were to report that there's a minor or an elder that's being abused or harmed, I would also have to report that. Is that okay, Chris?
That makes sense to me.
Okay. So we're gonna start by going over your intake form and some of the information that you've shared with us.
That sounds pretty good to me.
Okay. So Chris, do you have any children? And if so, would you please list their names and their ages?
I have Ashley, who is 12, and Ben, who is 8.
Okay, so you've got 2 young kids.
Yes.
That must be quite the handful. Can I ask you what your race, nationality, ethnic origin, and religion is?
Me and my deceased wife, Rebecca, we come from Catholic family. We wanted to instill structure in our kids' lives too, so yeah, we always wanted to attend church more. We would go on major holidays. I would like to take the kids on Sundays, but it's hard to get up and go. Rebecca and me always thought that we would go more often to give the kids a sense of community and belonging. The kids really need it that right now. My daughter Ashley will be graduating from grade 8 this year, and she'll be doing her confirmation ceremony. I just wish Rebecca was here to see it.
That's understandable, Chris. It sounds to me like your family and your Catholic values are really important to you. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, I need to make sure I start going.
Yeah. From what you shared with me, it sounds like Ashley's a really big part of your life, and she's going to be graduating in grade 8, so that's a big change coming up.
Yeah, I just wish Rebecca was here to see it.
Yeah. So could you please describe to me any presenting issues or problems that brought you in today?
I've been drinking. I'm addicted to oxy and gambling. I just have no routine. I'm financial problems one week, and like I'm facing eviction. I lost my license. I can't work without a license. I'm in debt with driving fines, DUIs, no savings. We don't even have life insurance. And I've totally screwed up my kids, and I'm alone, and I'm having a hard time accepting help. My kids are close to my in-laws. Their names are Sally and Bob, and they want to help, but I've just shut them out.
Okay, so Sally and Bob, they're your in-laws, so they were Rebecca's parents?
Yeah, that's right.
How big of a role have they played in helping you out with your children this time?
They really want to help, but like I've completely shut them out.
Okay, so I know that you've shut them out, but that might be a relationship that's maybe worth working on as an informal sort of support for you and your children in this time right now. You've also shared with me that you're drinking and you have some substance use issues and some gambling issues. You've also shared with me that you've got some financial problems and you've got 1 week until eviction, Chris. So those are some things that we can definitely start to help work with you. We have some resources available that can definitely take a look at those kinds of things and maybe get you some support that you and your kids need. So could you please describe the history of your current problems?
Oh, well, you know, like it's hard. It's hard. My wife passed away. My kids miss their mother. I'm addicted to Oxy. I don't know what to do. That's my life right now.
Yeah. Is your Oxy use related to the car accident?
100%. I started taking Oxy as a pain med. I got addicted to it.
Yeah, that's very common, Chris. It's unfortunate. I think we have some supports here that really can help treat that.
Like I know like the accident was like 2 years ago. I just, the kids don't understand. The kids, they see me abusing drugs and
It's okay, man.
thank you. And yeah, I've really got to get back on track. Yeah,
It sounds like this is really weighing heavily on you, Chris.
it is.
There is support here for you, I promise you, okay? So for previous treatment, I hate to just jump into the next thing like that, but for previous treatment, where have you been, or like what sort of resources have you and your family accessed?
Me and the kids went to hospice after their mother passed. It's just hospice.
Is there any other type groups that you attended while you were there, like that maybe you and for the kids?
Like we went to a group for like 4 weeks, and Children's Aid Society stepped in, and I believe Ashley's been speaking with a school counselor. She was caught self-harming.
Okay.
Which also has been on my mind. It's hard to think straight.
Okay. So when you attended the Triple P parenting program from the Children's Aid Society, what did you think about that? It says here on your intake form that you only attended 3 out of 7 sessions.
I just shut it out. I decided to shut it out.
Yeah. That's totally understandable with everything that you're going through right now.
Yeah.
It also says on your intake form that you went to a group for 4 weeks. Would you mind clarifying what that looked like, or what kind of a group that was?
It was okay. I learned that I need to establish structure and routine, create charts, get up at the same time and go to bed at the same time each day, get the kids involved in stuff that makes them happy. I need to spend time with my kids. I've been doing the complete opposite lately, and that was my big takeaway from it. But like I said, I can't even muster up the energy to go to church once a week. It's hard for me to commit to these things right now, commit to anything right now.
Yeah, I know how serious you take your faith and family and those kinds of connections. So if it's weighing you down that much, it must be weighing on you pretty heavily. So this kind of relates to the last question that I asked you. So if you have received previous treatment, how was it helpful?
Like my kids seemed to like it. It was okay, Everyone in the group had lost someone they loved, and there were like other kids there, but I was told I should go to personal counseling, and Children's Aid, like I said, I just learned I need to get myself in a good routine, but 4-week program, yeah, I just felt like everybody knew what I needed to do, but nobody knew how it needed to be done.
Yeah, so it really sounds like you're struggling with the loss of Rebecca and everything that's going on with the kids right now. From what you've shared with me, though, it does seem like some of these past treatments have been beneficial for the kids and that it was helpful for them.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something that we could later discuss as something to move forward with them. Something that could help them maybe deal with some of that trauma, or a way that we can help give them some extra coping mechanisms to deal with the loss of their mother.
Of course.
I know that you've had trouble with those groups yourselves, but maybe that's something we could look into for you as well. So what has happened most recently that makes you seek help at this time?
Well, like I said, I'm facing eviction. If I don't get my finances in order, we're gonna be homeless.
Yeah.
I need to get off the drugs and alcohol, and I need to stop screwing up my kids' lives.
Yeah, so something that I keep hearing is you're really worried for your kids, and you're a single father and you're trying so hard for your children, and I know that you feel like you're almost just drowning. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, drowning in bills, drowning in addiction, drowning in sorrow, drowning in everything. 100%.
That's a tough position to be in, Chris, but I think that we can offer some help here for you, okay? So, being evicted from your house is obviously a very serious and pressing matter. We can't have you and your children living out on the streets, of course. So later today, I'm going to have a meeting with you talking about some housing resources that we can go over. Does that sound okay with you, Chris?
I'm really eager to have that conversation.
Yeah, I think that would be beneficial for everyone involved. Would you mind describing your mood on a good day to me, Chris?
Having a good sleep, getting up at a good time, just like a normal person. But
Yeah.
if I get the kids off to school, spend time with them, if I can get back to work and not abuse substance, like that would be ideally like a good day for me. And like my mood on a good day like that is like about 7 out of 10.
Okay. So it sounds like as long as your kids get to school and you get to work okay, then it's a good day for you.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say. What would you say makes your mood good?
Like I said, just getting up at a good time, all that stuff, right? But
Yeah.
like interests, hobbies, and things like that. Like I like gardening. I like
Yeah.
playing board games with the kids, working hard and getting dirty, watching TV with the kids. I like talking to Ben and having him work with me and teach him things too.
Yeah, so what you're telling me is you enjoy spending time with your son and showing him some of the things that you
Yeah.
know. I think that's very valuable bonding time for you and Ben, and I think that you could both really gain something from that. And I think that's definitely something that you and your son should continue to work towards.
Thank you.
So yeah, playing games with Ben and Ashley, those are all great activities that you can spend with your kids to have some bonding time with them. I think you guys could all
Feels
use
like
that.
bonding time, yeah.
Yeah. So could you list the areas of your life that you find the most challenging or things that cause the most stress?
Definitely addiction and finances. Missing my wife is always going to be on very top of that mountain.
Yeah.
I feel like I failed my kids. I gotta like learn how to deal with my addiction issues. Dealing with them at the moment is like very challenging, and I need to stop shutting people out. I need to accept the help being offered to me, and I need to commit to it.
Yes. So from what you shared earlier, it does sound like you have some supports in your life and some people that you can reach out to. I know you may not have that connection with them that you want, but maybe that's something that you could possibly build towards. And that way, when you're dealing with your own personal issues, you have somebody that can help with the kids.
Right.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys are all going through a very stressful time in your life, so I would just want to suggest maybe some techniques to help de-stress, and we can go over what some of those techniques are later if that interests you.
Yeah, that interests me a lot.
So what are your greatest strengths and your accomplishments? Like, what are you good at, Chris?
Even though I didn't go to college, I started my own successful business. Being able to fix things and do a great job. I'm a hardworking guy.
Wow, so you started your own business from scratch successfully. That's something to be very proud of. That's a huge accomplishment, Chris.
Thank you. Yeah, that's about it though.
Yeah, so maybe in the future that's something that you could do again, you know? If that-
Hopefully, if I can get back to work and get my license reinstated, that would get me back to work for sure.
Yeah, if that's something you're passionate about, I think you should go for it. So what is your hope for the future? What would a positive future look like? I mean, I feel like we just kind of discussed that, but yeah, let's.
Being sober, you know, being back at work, being a good dad to my kids, and reconnecting with Rebecca's parents, and let them help and see the kids. I think part of me not wanting them around is me not wanting them to see my addiction.
Yeah, I think
So
that.
I need to start with the addiction. My finances will come together after that.
Yeah.
And I need to reconnect with her parents.
Yeah, I think that's fair to
Be a
say.
proper father again.
Yeah.
I've spent enough time in the rut, so yeah, it's time.
I think that's fair to say, Chris. That's very brave and bold of you to say. So I just want to summarize some of the things that we've gone over today. So it sounds like being a good father to your kids is one of your top priorities.
Yes.
Is that safe to say?
Yeah, 100%.
And one of the main reasons you're here is so you can stop using substances so you can be that father for them.
I definitely need to be hooked up with some addiction counselor.
Yeah, and maybe by dealing with some of those substance issues, then we can start to resolve your financial issues,
Exactly.
get back to work, and start building those relationships back with your family and with Rebecca's parents. Start healing some of those relationships with your family and your children.
Exactly.
I think those are great goals for you, Chris, and I think that we're going to be able to set up a plan just for you that's going to be really great.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm really eager. Thanks for meeting me today.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chris. I'll share you with my contact information and we will be in touch within the next week.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.